Welcome to Podtendo, a Nintendo podcast, where they analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games.
Forget everything you think you know about Resident Evil.
I'm under the President's order to rescue you.
My father? Oh my god! What's going on?
Don't worry, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
I am one of the last. Evil has evolved. Resident Evil 4 for Nintendo GameCube. Rated M for mature. Only from Capcom.
Hey guys, welcome to the Podtendo podcast, where we analyze, reminisce, and replay the glory of old Nintendo games. We can be contacted by sending us an email, podtendo@gmail.com, or replying to a YouTube, maybe video. Might get our attention. Other than that, we're not any on the socials. We're a review, retrospective, let's play pop culture-y show. So today you'll get a little bit all of that as we talk about the title at hand. But first, I'm going to introduce myself and my co-host. I am Mick, and I'm joined every episode by my lovely and talented co-host,
Tyson.
Welcome.
Yes, thanks.
Nice.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, this is good. We're back here on Podtendo for Scary Spooky Month. So, Bart's Nightmare was a couple weeks ago. We're back with another scary, spooky game today. Dropping, it's a big one actually, RE4.
Yeah, and a good one.
Oh yeah.
One of the best, in my opinions. Shocker to no one.
Yes, no,
considering it was on our list and we talked about it not too long ago. So
yeah.
Surprise.
I did this make my top 10 GameCube game list? I don't think it did. Just like kind of scroll up through GameCubes here. Yeah, this is like top 3 for you, and it's top 4 for me. Okay, never mind. It's
Okay.
It's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, it should make it.
But like, sometimes you do stupid things and you like just don't include stuff. You look back at a list and you're like, But no, it's good. So
For sure.
I'm glad we're gonna
know that there was
say nice things on this list, and we're gonna talk fondly of this game, because like if we didn't, man, what the hell are we doing? This game's great,
Yeah.
but it's like not on our top 10 list. Stupid idiots.
one of my favorite games of all time doesn't make any lists. And they're like, what the heck are we doing with our lives?
So, if spoilers, if you haven't gone back and listened, you're just for some reason listening to us talk about Resident Evil 4. We do have a lot of shows from this last year, so you can listen to top video games. That might have made one of our lists. Top GameCube games make both of our lists, so we will talk about it a little bit there. But you're going to get a finer, more thorough treatment today as we dive through the game, the myth that was the game-changing game of Resident Evil 4. And very genre shifting too, right? As we're kind of going through this list afterwards, we kind of looked ahead at what the future holds. And this is the first time old retro games start feeling a bit more modern, right? Even GameCube feels a little bit janky, and then you get into RE4 and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this kind of just feels like how games play nowadays, right? So big monumental shift, and I think maybe we'll touch briefly on it at the end and kind of cultural significance. I don't know what we got going on. It's a different show today. So RE4 was developed by Capcom. It sold 10.6 million copies as of April 2025. It was released January 11th, 2005. How Long to Beat has this game at 15.5 hours. And on eBay, you get a copy of this game for $45. And it comes with a manual, and it comes with a box, and I bought it. So it's pretty exciting.
Excellent. Well, it's this game's a classic. It's definitely up there as like one of the most approachable, playable, fun times you could have. I mean, I really enjoy it. So,
yeah. No, where to play, it is very approachable, like Tyson said. It was originally released on the GameCube, but then a port came out on the PS2. It's also been seen on the PS4, PS5, Switch, Wii U, Xbox 360. It's probably on other Xboxes, but after 360, I don't know what the Xboxes are. Maybe Xbox One?
Xbox One, and then Xbox Series S or X.
Like, really? That is
Yes,
just some good...
great naming.
Yeah.
Great naming. It is very clear. I don't know why anyone would be dramatically confused by this terrible naming convention.
Oh, it's just so so
Like
confusing.
Xbox One, which is the fourth Xbox console.
And the
It's like,
360 is not the 360th. Okay, it's like the second
no,
one.
that's actually the second one. It's like, yes. I'm glad this is super clear. and
Tech
nobody
naming
should be
conventions
confused.
in video games. It's
Oh,
just.
man.
Anyways, so it's available a lot of places. It's probably for sale somewhere. If you want on your Switch, you're like, $5. Great. But before we get more into this game, we know it's available. Let's go back in time and look at what January 11th, 2005 looked like quickly, briefly, and go from there. So, top TV shows from January 2005. You could be watching Lost. You're probably watching Lost. What's going on that island? You can see The Desperate Housewives, Grey's Anatomy, The Office. The UK just finished. The US was just starting this year. 24, Smallville, and Scrubs.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like this was a TV era that you're more fond of than me.
I
Because
mean,
you were big into Lost, right?
oh, me and Tamara went back and watched. We just did a watch replay of this like last year, so yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and then you were also big into The Office.
Oh, I love The Office. Yeah, I just rewatched seasons. I was a little bit sick, and I watched like seasons 1 through 5 is just creature comfort food. I'm like, every episode is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got into it eventually because you just had the DVDs, and I'm like, can I just borrow these seasons? And then on a sick Saturday or whatever, you're just like, I'll put this on, and it is delightful.
It is nice.
If you haven't watched The Office, give it a chance.
Top cartoon shows that came out in 2005. We saw Teen Titans, The Batman, Justice League Unlimited, Avatar: The Last Airbender, premiered in 2005. Family Guy returned from cancellation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. Actually, like very solid cartoons. Just like looking at this list, it's like this is the good Teen Titans, not that terrible Teen Titans Go.
Yep.
So good times. Justice League Unlimited. I mean, I love me some DC. If anyone knows me, they know that I lean more DC than I do Marvel. And some people laugh at me, but I'm like, look at this animation. It's so good. And then Avatar: Last Airbender, potentially one of the greatest cartoons of all time.
Sure. Okay. I was watching The Office at this point, so I missed that one. Too bad. But I did see some movies. No, I didn't. But this month we saw Employee of the Month, Racing Stripes, White Noise, Are You There? Are We There Yet? And Hide and Seek. Yeah.
So you can skip some TV or skip the movies, watch some TV,
Cartoons apparently, and you're fine.
watch some good cartoons.
And then video games that were released January 2005. We saw Software Tycoon. Yeah, you tired of building your roller coasters? Why don't you build some software? Minish Cap, Zookeeper, maybe make a zoo, I'm not sure. And then Playboy, The Mansion.
Oh, classic. That's one of my go-to games. If I need to pretend to be Hugh Hefner, I'll just play Playboy the game.
Mansion, PS4. Yeah, apparently... Oh, it's like a Sims game?
Oh, okay.
And you kind of like, you have parties, and then you interact with different... And you build relationships with weird Sims people at these Playboy parties. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, definitely less creepy than I thought it could be, so...
Yeah,
You,
that one...
You are a fly in the mansion. You fly around and can stare and gaze. And I'm like, okay. Neat.
Okay, I feel dirty.
So Minish Caps, we have been here before, years ago. Oh, gosh. I feel like Minish Cap might have been like a COVID adventure, so...
Yeah, I could see that, though.
Yeah.
I could see that.
What did we just play? Did we just play a Zelda game? Minish Cap came up. What was the last Zelda game we just played? Oh, Four Swords Adventures. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes. I'm glad we both kind of blocked that from our memory. Be like, what did we play?
It seemed like Minish Cap, but it just wasn't as good. Oh yes, Four Swords Adventures, perfect. But with that,
and that makes sense.
that now puts us in the pop cultural landscape. So now we're aware of what January 11th, 2005 looked like. Maybe we're live. Maybe we're like, yes, I recall that. I don't recall any of those, so it didn't really help me. We could look at the development details of how RE4 came to be. So after Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and Code Veronica, that's a game we skipped, but probably for a reason. Capcom knew the series was getting stale. Same camera angles, same door opening, same dogs jumping through windows. So, in 1999, Shinji Mikami said, "We're going to reinvent this thing," and boy, did they ever. The development of RE4 was chaos. At least 4 different versions of the games were scrapped before we got the masterpiece we know today. There was the Fog version, with zombies and a virus in Leon's hand, the Hookman version, that was all ghastly hallucinations, and even a story about a superhuman guy named Tony. That one became Devil May Cry. So, yeah, the game literally birthed another franchise.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey,
And I mean, Devil May Cry, not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
never-
I think it redeems itself after a certain point because it goes through some growing pains at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the second and third aren't great.
Again, one of those
Played it
series.
in a while.
You played it. I never got to the first one. I just never got around to it. It was like your game. I think I do own the collections on something. Like, I think they did that with the PS4. Maybe they started like putting collection towards the end of the cycle. They're like, no new games. We're working on other stuff. Just I don't know, collections of old stuff. So I might own that. By the time Mikami took back control, he was bored of the old format. He threw out the fixed cameras, ditched Umbrella, and focused on action over pure horror. He designed a new over-the-shoulder camera system, a now standard view in third-person games, and built gameplay around precision aiming and crowd control instead of slow, claustrophobic dread. The new enemies, Lagandos, replaced zombies. They could duck, run, and throw axes, terrifying compared to the slow undead of old. Leon was redesigned to be cooler, tougher, and snarkier, like a new character, while the new characters like Ashley and Ada helped move the story in a fresh direction. Okay.
Yeah, this game, pacing-wise, is crazy good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really talk too much about pacing in games, but I feel like I have to nowadays because some pacing I'm just like, man, this is a struggle. And then there's games like this where it's like, I think there's a couple lulls, and I might touch on them, like when we get to them in the thing. But it's like, yeah, this game is kind of nonstop, just go, have lots of fun. So
Yeah, and as we go through the level notes, we could definitely bring that up, but it is kind of like fast-paced adrenaline. You're hoping that Leon put some Red Bulls, because he definitely needed wings to get through this adventure. The infamous regenerators were added late in development to make sure players still got their dose of pure horror. Well, Resident Evil 4 finally launched. It was a GameCube exclusive, part of the Capcom 5 that was supposed to be to save Nintendo's adult reputation. It didn't stay exclusive long, though. A year later, it hit the PS2 and eventually everything else. But the GameCube version, that's the purest one. The one Mikami himself was said to see the full or the real vision. Cool.
Sure. I grab any one you can get your hands on. The remake's really solid. I played the remake for this one.
Okay.
And you played the OG, right?
You know what? Funny enough, I was playing through the remake. I bought that and I played through, and I'm up to the castle. I think I just got to the castle.
Okay.
I'm either like right before you fight the big chief, which essentially gets you into the castle, or like I got into the castle and saved, kind of thing. So, and I played through my original save file from my PS2, the first time I ever played through this game for this review. So kind of both.
Yeah.
Okay. Controls. So now we know how this game came to be. Let's look at the controls before we get into our personal experience with first memories. Wow, exciting. You move with the left stick and aim with the right trigger. locking into an over-the-shoulder view. The laser sight was revolutionary at the time. No crosshairs, just a red dot that told you where your bullets would actually land. You can't move while shooting, for better or for worse, while making the encounters tense and strategic. Quick time events make appearances in boss fights and cutscenes, which is new for the series. The inventory system got a glow up too. The attaché case grid felt like you're playing Tetris with guns.
Yeah, and again, simplified in the remake, I believe, because you can just like literally click one button, it's just like auto sort.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it removes the best part of this game, which everybody loves, the moving item or inventory management.
Yeah. I mean, I could just tell you how I played this game. I have a save file that has like the infinite rocket launcher, the Chicago typewriter, and Ashley in a suit of armor already queued up. So I just basically had I just basically had healing items and my like 2 infinite guns, and it was perfect. And Ashley, she's so heavy in her suit of armor, none of the guys could pick her up. So when she's like, Leon, they like go to pick her up, and then they're like, oh, my back.
Like, really should have stretched first.
So fun. I mean, this playthrough is definitely less stressful. Just kind of go right, hit a boss, pull out the rocket launcher, boom, and you like blow him up, and you're just like, great, awesome, give me my money. So, but
Good times.
with that though, first memories of this game. So this game came out during my senior year of high school, so I missed the initial release, and I didn't hear anything about it until I want to say 2016. It was like early YouTube. It was like a MC Chris video, and he was comparing Kingdom Hearts to Resident Evil. It was just it was something about like, I don't know, something about Run Jump Gypsy. Early YouTube, I'm not really sure. So I may have been not actually played RE4 until I played Kingdom Hearts 2, and I was thinking that was 2007, but then I looked, it was probably fall of 2006. So I went back to university. I think I was like getting queued up to play NHL 07 or something like that. Saw both Kingdom Hearts and RE4, and I was like, oh, maybe I should rent these from a Blockbuster. Let's see. Flex, but, oh yeah, I was going to flex my age that I rented Kingdom Hearts. Cool, what a foreign concept. I know I paid $20 for a used copy on my PS2 of this game, because I literally still have the box. I played it for this podcast, even had my memory card installed. I was so scared of the first few hours of this game because after being, like, severed by the chainsaw early on, I was like, well, I don't want that to happen again. That looked real. That was not good. I didn't like my head being cut off. I slowly beat the game, and then ended up completing it several times. Literally, how do I know that? Because I still have my infinite Chicago typewriter saved to that file. And then since the release, I've purchased this game multiple times. I own it on the GameCube, PS2, Wii, PS4, Switch versions. And then I might have more digital copies. And those are just copies I could find on my shelves yesterday when I wrote this note. So I might even have a different copy somewhere. But this is, one of those games that came out a little bit slow uptake, before I got to it. And fell in love instantly. Couldn't stop playing it. Had a blast. It was awesome. And I just keep beating it and playing it. And, I'm pretty sure I've even suffered through the Wii version of this game.
Oh my god, why would you do that to yourself?
Well, it's fun. It's like you control with the little Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know.
Wiimote.
Yeah.
Not Joy-Con.
I was gonna say
Wiimote.
that doesn't sound like a good time to me.
No. Do you have any first memories of this game, or what was your first experience?
I think I shared this when we did our top 10.
Yeah.
But so one of the times where my Xbox decided to red ring itself and brick itself, I decided that I was done with Xbox and I got rid of all my stuff. So I took the Xbox, my controllers, all my games, went to AEB Games at the time and was like, use the warranty on the Xbox, give me a new one, and then trade everything in. So they did that, and I ended up being like, you have $400. What do you want to buy? And I'm like, I'm going to buy a GameCube. So I bought a GameCube, restocked all the good games, and then started diving into that library. This was one of the games in that library. So I feel like I didn't get around to it right away, but it was definitely one of the games on my list. I think I bought this think I did that around like the actual launch, so I didn't get the used discount. But this was one of the games where I'm like, well, I have the remake and then the second one, I grabbed all the remakes. I think it was 0 and the first remake, and this, and as well as a bunch of like just party games or whatever. So this was one of the games that I started playing.
Okay.
Brought my GameCube to university, brought it over to my buddy's house. We were playing some like Melee and everything, and I was like, I'll just bring all my games. I don't have that many. So I like left it at his house, and I was like, oh yeah, this is like Resident Evil, can't play it co-op or whatever, but it's fun. Showed him it and went home, and then came back like 2 days later, and he's like sitting in the castle, and it's like, dude, what's going on? It's like, I haven't been to school in the past few days, and I haven't really left the couch. I've just been sleeping and eating and playing this game. And he was like my one buddy that was like always working out, always doing all this stuff, and this game just like broke all his like motivation for doing things. He's like, I need to beat this game. It's so good. So that was one of my first memories of this game. It was just like swapping from Xbox to GameCube, and then breaking my one buddy's brain with how amazing this game was. And he just like he just called it. He's like, I'm not going to school for a week. I'm playing this game till it's done. So actually, like, I think the first time I saw this game beat was I was watching him beat it.
Okay.
It's like sick. My non-gamer buddy who like played a bit of games, but like wasn't hardcore or anything. I watched him beat this game, and I was like, this game's pretty awesome.
That's fun.
I agree.
Nice.
So.
That's solid. Yeah. So it is one of those things where it's funny how it kind of found us both kind of organically, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, I know I said, I think I rented it. I don't think I did rent it. I think I rented Kingdom Hearts 2 and like NHL 07, start playing the hockey game. And I'm like, oh, I need to own this game. Right. So but by Christmas time I had purchased it, but it was like $80. And I'm like, $80 for hockey? That seems like too much. Like, it's gotta be cheaper. Whereas it definitely like $20 to buy RE2 or RE4. And I was like, all right, I guess that's what I'm doing this fall. And that I did. My grades, like your friend, may have suffered as a result. I mean, I probably would have other curricular stuff, not just this game, but definitely did not do well in school that year, but had fun playing RE4. You
know what? You don't always need to be the best at school, guys. You can sometimes just blow off a semester.
And like,
guess what?
Oh my gosh,
nobody cares.
2005. Like, I'm just gonna tell this so I can sound really old. I'm in university. I have a computer in my apartment, but like the internet kind of sucks because it's like we have Wi-Fi, but it's like the Wi-Fi signal that sometimes your computer just doesn't have internet, right? And you're like, so I'd have to be at school, log into like they just had in the hallways communal computers. You could like log in with your student ID, go on the internet, and I would go and like look up game facts for like the next chapter and read through what was coming up, so I could walk across the street up to my apartment, turn on my PlayStation, and sit and play this game. Now you just do it on your phone. Can you imagine? You're like, I don't know how to get past this puzzle. Well, I guess I'll walk over to the university and look up on a computer and then come home. Crazy, man. Crazy, bonkers.
Yeah. Back in the day when the best cell phone thing you could do on your cell phone was play like some Snake on a flip phone.
Bizarre. And then you think like 20 years before 2005, you're in 85. You're like, man, do you want to come play the original Mario Brothers on this original Nintendo? Like, why are you emphasizing original? Like, this is going to be a fad. Like, oh, you'll see. You'll see. Into the story of this game. We're spending a lot of time up front talking about this game. Although once we get into it, I feel like it goes pretty quick, and then we're basically done. So maybe that's fine.
Yeah.
But we will, with the interest of time, let's get into this game proper. So the story of RE4. So 6 years after the Raccoon City incident, Leon S. Kennedy is now a government agent sent to rural Spain to rescue the U.S. president's kidnapped daughter, Ashley Graham. But when he arrives, the villagers aren't exactly welcoming. Turns out they're all infected with Las Plagas, a parasite controlled by the cult called Los Luminados. From there, Leon must blast, kick, and suplex his way through a nightmare of villages, castles, and military bases while uncovering the truth behind the parasites and stopping the cult leader, Osmond Sattler, from taking over the world. Oh, and yes, he still has time to flirt with Ada Wong.
Of course. Those two actually have like a bit of chemistry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I approve this.
Yeah, remember when they
'cause-
awkwardly looked at each other in RE2?
Yes.
Leon.
And it was like, you know what? I can see how these two are going to end up together.
Ada.
So,
Remember he helped her in that parkade? Great. Cool. Anyways,
Yeah.
level notes of this game. So, starting off, you were dropped off by some police officers to explore a village. They are attacked, and you must proceed to the village via foot. Once you arrive, you are met with a flood of enemies and one scary guy with a chainsaw before Leon makes a bingo joke.
where'd everybody go? Bingo?
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's good. Good one.
Uh,
Well, actually, he has a few great lines throughout this. I know there's
Yeah.
a part coming up that I was like, or like in later part of the game, I was like, Leon, you're such a fucking, like,
Yeah.
you just gotta have attitude.
Does have
Like,
attitude.
and I approve of this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like he's hilarious.
Um,
If you don't love Leon, I don't know what you're doing.
In terms of this game, all the sections we talk about, I think this is like the most iconic, right? It's before the title card. It is the introduction, right? It is one of the very, very compelling intros to a video game. It's one of the, I don't want to say the most compelling, but it is up there with, like, in terms of Silent Hill. Like, I will go on and on about, like, man, the first couple hours of Silent Hill, awesome. The first hour of RE4 is legendary, right? From not being sure, right? Coming from the series that includes zombies. Okay, now we're in kind of a 3D world. They move a little bit faster. What do the zombies look like, right? I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anything about the Los Illuminatis. I basically came into this game blind and expecting zombies. That's the enemies in Resident Evil. Seeing the creepy guy in the house and being attacked, having to disarm some of the villagers, slowly kind of picking off one or two villagers as you make your way stealthily into the village, to just a full-out assault happening on your senses, right? Tons of villagers, you're overwhelmed, and then this crazy guy with a chainsaw runs up and chops your head off. And that moment that I first experienced of playing through this game of just being like, what? No, there was I was fighting like one or two guys and maybe having a hard time, to all of a sudden there's a freaking army of these people. Like, what do you do, right? And it's just kind of survive. It's play through it a couple times. Find the shotgun. Okay, the shotgun can eliminate some guys. Learn how to be a bit more mobile. Okay, you don't just have to stand and shoot, right? You can kind of like run around and escape and like jump through a window, and that will slow everyone down because everyone else also has to jump through the window, right? And just learning kind of all the mechanics in this little playground. Essentially, they make a sandbox for you and they say, have fun. We're going to, create 2 or 3 minutes of just pure chaos, and you have to survive and just endure before we ever get into the game, right? And you find just this wave of kind of enemies coming at you. Nowadays, it's nothing. Oh, run up a ladder, kick down the ladder, run over here, oh, jump down, run into this building, oh, shut the door, push this, oh, run over here, jump over here. You could spend 3 minutes running around doing a little loop, and no one will ever catch you. In fact, I think one of my strategies I love is just climb up the clock tower and then jump down. And then just climb up the clock tower, because they can't hurt you during the ladder animation. So you're just invulnerable, right? But it is just one of the most iconic openings to a video game, right? In terms of kind of just like excellence, execution of capturing you, of getting your attention. This opening chapter is just up there in terms of, is it the best? Is it the greatest opening level in video games? It's maybe. I know it's really, really done damn well, and like the hook is incredible, right? We used to have that segment at one point where I said, what's the hook of this game? You play for an hour, what's the hook? This is the hook. If you're not in at this point, put the game down. Go do something else with your life. You suck. Because you should be like, I need more of this. This was awesome, right? So the fact they just give you all that dopamine, that kind of right off the start, top notch.
Yeah, and it doesn't really let up from here.
No.
Like, I keep waiting for okay, now this game's going to kind of give me like a quiet spot, and it's like, no, we aren't. Keep suffering, fool. And you just keep grinding and keep grinding. It's fantastic. It really is. I know I could see how some people would be like exhausted by the end of it, because it is just it takes it out of you. Like, it does not let up. The foot does not go off the gas pedal. There's like 1 or 2 slower moments, but that's quickly followed up by like No, and get back to grinding
Yeah.
and get back to just like doing what you got to do because this game is relentless.
Well, and it is that it's that kind of that big jump from, I don't want to call it 2D because like Nemesis, even Code Veronica, but they were very slow, static survival horror games. And again, we kind of mentioned they went from survival horror to action, and in a big way, and like perfected the action of the start, right? So
Yeah.
I think other than that, like we probably won't spend that much time on every other chapter, but I kind of feel like in terms of just the effect it had on me, right? Personally, I know the first time I played through this game, and going back and just appreciating kind of what they accomplished in those first opening minutes, is just incredible, right? The rest of the game will just kind of like, this is what happens basically through the story. Oh, there's a cool boss, but for the most part, you're like rinse repeat, right? You can almost do it blindfolded after you've done it a couple times, but
Yeah. And one thing I noticed, I mean, I'll just mention it now, is like it keeps reintroducing like a bigger bad. So like
Yeah.
you start
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game and you're like, okay, the guy in the hat.
Yep.
That's gonna be the bad guy. And then it's like, okay, no, it's actually like that little freaky dude. I forget his name.
so the big chief, so the village chief, you think, okay, he's the enemy. No, they get to Sadler pretty soon, right? Because Lord Sadler has his portrait in the chief's house, right? In the next chapter when we get there, and then
Yeah, it's hinted, but you actually don't even meet him
No.
until like later.
but they do a good
So,
job
like-
of like, oh, maybe it's him, right?
Well, and it's like it happens like 4 times. So you think it's like the big chief at the village,
Take him
and
out,
then you think it's the little like freaky dude,
Lord Salazar.
Lord Salazar, and then you're like, okay, then now is it Krauser?
Yep.
And then you meet Sadler. So you keep having like these escalating like big bads that are like, oh man, like this is now the guy I gotta face. It's like, no, you just keeps escalating. So like it's a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah, no, I actually that's a good point. I was going to mention that too. The escalation and threats and stuff. They keep introducing new characters and the kind of obstacles to overcome. That is done very, very well. From there, though, we go to chapter 2 of chapter. So chapter 1, chapter 2. I don't know if that's how it's broken down, but that's what the notes say. We meet the merchant. So he travels through the village, a farm, before being captured. We meet a man named Luis, escape, meet a merchant, and battle our way back to the village. All right.
Yep. Pretty linear at this point, but it's good to meet Louise. He's good times.
Yeah, and you get a sniper rifle or like a rifle at this point, and you can like meet the merchant. And if you've saved enough, found enough treasure, you can get a scope, and you kind of have like a basically practice sniping, right? A bunch of the villages here, or a bunch of the enemies here, to kind of get back to the big chief's house. Chapter 3, though, we say gone fishing. So after encountering the big chief in his house, we fight our way back through the village, find a church, and must proceed to a lake before we have to battle a giant salamander. Or he's a fish, I don't know.
Yeah, not sure. There was a weird, funny glitch in this one where, like, before you head to the salamander, you can kind of go through that other, like, little village section. And there's like a bison guy with giant hammer. Like there's your standard Los Plagas.
Yeah.
And then there's like the head burster with like the scythe Los Plagas. And then there's like these giant like tank enemies where they have like a minotaur head kind of thing going on. Obviously they cut the head off of a cow and they're just like wearing it or whatever. Where I fall into the river, but I don't realize I'm in a river. I just see like this snake floating through the air, and I'm like, oh, the water texture didn't load in this one area, which was fantastic, actually, because then you're like, nothing surprised me. I could just snipe the snakes.
Nice.
And I just like fished. I did some farming there for some cash, because not really a ton of opportunities to do some farming.
No.
There's this, and then the next section coming up where you can kind of just like farm a little bit. But I just thought it was hilarious, and I'm like, I really hope that this glitch stays throughout the game because it makes dealing with things underneath the water super easy.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Solid.
It didn't. It went away.
Okay, that's fair. Those are only in the remake. The original doesn't have kind of buffed up enemies just yet. I think through the first area you only get Plagas. Coming up in Chapter 2, Chapter 1, it came from the lake /parasite encounter /extraction. So you awaken on the other side of the lake. You find the merchant. You find a new version of the base enemies. So the like Les Ganados, one of them all of a sudden their head explodes and like the parasite inside is now coming at you. And they can either create like another parasite enemy that can like be kind of like a face crawler, or they're like a big swinging knife. Before we rescue Ashley from the church. So the enemies kind of get a bit of a step up, but yeah, in the remake, like Tyson said, you do get a bit more variation in the just base enemies. There's a couple tank, if you want to call them tank enemies, that are kind of kicking around.
Yeah, and this is where I did a bunch of fishing.
Yeah.
I just cruised around that lake and just killed all the basses and sold them all for the cash.
Nice. Okay. Solid. I think I'm past that point in the remake, so that's unfortunate. I can't farm anymore. Well, replay. Chapter 2, we're Road to Freedom. So now with Ashley in hand, we have to go back through the village and escape to a house where we have to fight off a horde of enemies. All right.
Yeah, this is a good section. I mean, kind of gets you in the sense of like how you're gonna manage Ashley. I think there's a couple spots where you can tell her to hide, and like there's 2 chainsaw chicks. And
No, that's the next area.
oh, okay,
Yep.
okay, gotcha. Yeah, but this is where we're fighting with Louise.
Yes, yeah, we're in the cabin right now. We're just kind of like trying to hold down the fort as we kind of battle through these guys, and yeah, nothing super crazy. Although,
Yeah,
especially in the original, it does. I don't know. I did it this time where I just like got out of the house, and because I had like an infinite Chicago typewriter, I just like basically patrolled the outside of the building and just like kept everyone at bay.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you had unlimited ammo, this could be very manageable.
Oh, and it's just like it cheeses it. I did play through the remake of this one too, and it does feel a bit more intense. You know, the threats when they come inside, a couple of, like the big tank characters, and like they chase you upstairs, and you're like, oh shit, okay. Yeah, it's not bad. Done well in both. Now Tyson said in chapter 3, through the trolls and chainsaws and the fall of the big cheese. So after the cabin attack, we have to decide to take either routes. So there's one where we have to fight a big troll guy, and then another one we have to fight a chainsaw ladies. So kind of pick and choose. All that is left is for us to take out the big chief. So we get to a ski lift, head down to a little cabin, fight him, get his fake eye, and make our way to the castle.
Yeah, and he has 2 forms. Like he's this giant, like breaks in half and has like giant scythes. Kind of looks like a Dead Space boss. And then you kill the first form and he breaks in half, and then he starts ripping around like, and in a burning building or whatever. So it's a fun boss.
Yeah, not too crazy. Now we're into the castle though, and I'm like, oh yeah, 2 chapters through, only 5 chapters in the game. Basically, you're in the castle the rest of the game. Neat. Chapter 1, Castle of Evil. So you must infiltrate the castle through a well-fortified entrance, fight Wolverine in the dungeon before the infamous water room with Ashley, and then she finally gets captured.
Yeah. You can... There is a trophy if you knife the Wolverine guy in the back with just a knife.
Okay.
So...
Okay.
If you're feeling ambitious, or you can just... I don't know what you used for your go-to. I had my pistol, and then I had a shotgun, and then I had a rifle. And that's basically how I dealt with a lot of the problems in this game.
Yeah.
I wanted to like the submachine guns, but they're just like, they just chew through ammo so inefficiently. It's like, I just shouldn't use this. I should just stick to pistol, shotgun, and then rifle.
Well, and I feel like outside of, like 1 or 2... points, oh my gosh, there's like a horde of enemies, it's a tight hallway, yeah, great, machine gun, plow them down, kind of create that, but those don't happen too frequently, right? So yeah, it's kind of situational for sure. I know for the remake, I went and I bought you can get to the store and you can buy like an extra shotgun and like a pistol, so I bought those and used those through the playthrough, and they're just a bit more powerful, right? I was like, well, I'll spend an extra $4 and have just a better gun for like quality of life. That seems like a nice thing I could do for myself.
There is no bad guns in this game,
no.
though.
Chapter 2, Underground Plague. So solo once more, we are tasked at exploring a bug-infested waterway, some art puzzles before exploring a maze. Okay.
Yeah, this is where I was hoping that the water glitch would have just not been there, because then I could just like seen it from a while away, and it's like did not work. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah, that's fair.
The one time I want this glitch to work.
I kind of forgot for some reason about this part of the game. Like thinking, you're like vaguely, I'm like, okay, I remember the village and like I kind of know the route through the village, and then we're in the castle and there's a waterway, and like I do get lost a little bit. Like my memory isn't 100% in the castle because I don't think it's straightforward. But then I was like, I don't ever remember being in a waterway and invisible bugs. I don't know. Anyways, I was like, oh, neat, cool. Chapter 3, we're on to the Fallen Comrade. So we explore more of the gardens, a mess hall, and a gallery. And at the end, we have an encounter where we run into a Luis, who gives us a sample of the virus, but then Lord Sadler kills him. So sad.
Yeah. R.I.P., homie.
Yeah, poor guy.
We're only alive because of you.
But on the plus side now, we do get to play the best chapter in the game. Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Ashley's Adventure. So now we can free Ashley. We can save her for a couple guys that come into the room. And then we have to explore some rooms. We don't have any guns. You can like throw lamps and burn some guys, but really you just get to run. Yeah. And then you're reunited with Leon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like a really solid part of the game. I love. I think this actually does like the scariest part of the game because Ashley's kind of helpless and she's essentially just being chased by giant chainmail guys, which we just fought with Leon, and we're like, man, these things are kind of a pain. Mm-hmm. And Ashley like, here's a light, have some fun. Yep. It's like, man, that's tough.
Yeah. They had some horror elements into this game, right? It's not just all pure action. They get a little mix of, it's kind of creepy. And I think even the first time playing through this game, I was still kind of convinced that it was a scary game, right? And I was like, there's going to be some horror at some point. It doesn't really get you there, so.
No, it's not like it. At no point do you go like, oh man, I'm so scared. Mm-hmm. It's like,
well, in the setting of a castle, you're like, wow, what a neat, unique setting. But really, what's the difference from this castle and the mansions in the past, right? They're these big, elaborate, otherworldly rooms, right, that have puzzles. And like, why does that staircase be controlled from a switch? Like what's the purpose of that? Like, you have to get up on this switch, on this wall, and hit this painting, and then you turn the switch, and it opens a door. Really? That's how the king's getting about his castle?
Yeah. Make sure you set the clock to the certain time.
Okay, right? Yeah, it just kind of has that feeling of, like, I've been here before. I've been to the mansions. I've been to the weird kind of avant-garde situations. I know rich families, they build weird trick houses kind of thing. So, I don't know, it's there, but it's not really there. But
I totally agree. It's one of those ones where you're like,
yeah. Now, in terms of
because Resident Evil.
Yeah, in terms of Ashley, like we could kind of talk about her as kind of the companion character. For the most part, her AI is pretty good, right? You can kind of give her a command to follow, wait. Sometimes she's needed to solve puzzles, right? So there's some co-op puzzles you can kind of use with her. You can get her to hide during kind of like rougher encounters and stuff like that. And she's kind of there. She's a companion character. The fetch quest became a trope on its own, right? Companion character. She wasn't done terribly, but also just the frequency that she is with you is shocking, right? You think she's in the village for how many chapters is that? One. So really we have 1, 2, 3. She gets captured. Okay. Now she's back with us. So 4. Chapter 4. Let's get through this one. Chapter 1, Flames and Fury, the right-hand man. So with Ashley back with us, we have to find 2 crests to unlock a train car, return to the start of the castle, see Ashley get captured again. Oh, man, she's gone. So we're up to 4 or 5. Before we have to fight with Verdugo, the right-hand man. So, okay. And sorry, with that point, we'll mention she's with us a couple times again, but out of the whole game, Ashley's only with us. We're started chapter 4, we're up to 5. I think maybe like 7 chapters in the whole game, we actually get this Ashley companion character, which is shocking. I recall her being a much bigger part of this game, with us a lot more frequently, with us through a couple more tricky sections, right? There's a couple boss fights that she kind of stays with you, but the game's pretty nice for the most part, right? They don't force her upon you. You know, you're not stuck with her by any point. So that's nice. But just, I don't know, for such an iconic part of this game. Stupid Ashley. I hate Ashley. Or maybe you had a weird thing for Ashley, because that's the other part of her. Oh, her big boobs. I love her big boobs. Like, horny.
Yeah.
I was like, horny boys. Like, when that did it for you. I was like, good job, us.
Yeah.
But just, I don't
It's
know.
one of those ones where you're like, I don't understand
No.
where the collective consciousness came from hating. Like, I guess it's because it's essentially just like the escort mission. And I remember everybody being like, escort missions, these are the worst things ever. And I'm like, yeah, they suck. But, like, is it really that bad, you guys? Like, I don't actually think it's that bad. So.
Yeah, no, and by no means is it bad, right? Just going back and reflecting upon, like, the Ashley parts are terrible. No, they're not terrible. And actually, her AI, it's okay. It's decent, right? Listens to you. It's always behind you. It's never in the way, right? And it's like simple quality of life things. You can never shoot Ashley because she is programmed to get the fuck out of your way. Even if she's standing in front of you between enemies, she goes, and it gets out of the way. Curls down, and you're able to open fire. She's never a nuisance. And it's like those things that are underrated versus other escort missions, other characters, other co-op stuff. They just get in your way. Like Shiva in Resident Evil 5 will stand in front of you and block you a lot of the time. And you're like, get out of here. Oh, you're just going to use all your ammo in your gun? Awesome. Cool. Thanks. Oh, you're going to use all the healing herbs because I got 1 point of damage. Thanks.
Oh, or there's one enemy. Better throw all my grenades.
Yeah.
And you're
like, what are you doing?
Why?
Versus Ashley's AI, they use it sparingly. It's pretty tight. That's not a disturbance, and I will give that credit. Ashley Graham, as annoying as you are and as hated as you were at some point in the community, I think things have got much worse. You know, it's not terrible. We're doing okay. So, on to Chapter 4, Chapter 2, Bloody Mines. So now you're in a mines. We are challenged to survive a fight with a chainsaw man, followed by 2 giants in a lava pit room. And that kind of basically goes to the next section. Chapter 3, the cart ride of doom. So now we must endure a cart ride. Enemies constantly jump on board, and we must be dispatched, followed by a quick time event. And if you fail, you have to repeat the entire cart section. And that happened to me at least once.
Yeah, the cart section's a little not great.
No, yeah. It's there, and like once you know how to work it, it's not terrible, but it's just one of those. Yeah, and like when I first like had to redo it, I was like, oh, I hate this. It's 2 minutes long, and I'm like, oh, okay. It just seems long.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where like you can clearly. You're like, oh man, I remember this part being such a struggle, and then you finish it, and you're like, I don't know why I struggled as a kid. I think like I just get better at video games as you get older. Like you like understand people are like, yeah, but you got those boomer reflexes or whatever, and it's like, but I feel like my problem solving ability is just like infinitely higher than it was when I was just like,
it's this weird thing too, especially in this game. There is no quick saves, right? There is no auto saves as you're playing through the game. If you don't save at a typewriter, save at the end of a chapter, you're redoing sections, right? I know when I used to replay this game and I do long playthroughs, I would start in chapter 1. I'd maybe play up into the castle, right? I'd play through 2 full chapters without ever saving. It's going to be 2 hours. I can do this. I tried to do that during this playthrough, and I kept getting screwed over. I'd play a chapter. Oh, let's play the next one, not save. And then I'd die. Oh, all the way back, and I'm now playing through chapter 3 before I even get to 4, and I'm like, oh, gosh. The horrors. Just save, guys. If you want to do a low save and that's a thing you care about, you got to replay a game. You got to get better at it. You can't just like on a casual playthrough, have massive gaps, right? There's a reason that autosave is just almost a default now. You never have to redo anything in video games. This is definitely one of those games where you're like, okay, saving is my friend, because oh god, there was lots of sections, especially early on in this game. I was like, ugh, I played through the village a lot longer, and then I just started saving everywhere. Like, tough boss battle, QTE coming up, bunch of cutscenes, save it a typewriter, I don't care. Have 25 saves at the end of the game, perfect.
I just, if a game gives me certain save slots, I just use them all.
Yeah.
So like Ninja Gaiden, I was like, oh, I'll have like a 3 rotating save slot. And it ended up screwing me over when I first played through those games. And I was like, what am I doing? Just keep if it gives you 10 save slots, I'm using all 10. And it's just like I will save my next save file at the next one.
Yeah.
And at the next one, at the next one. And you just like rotate your way through them. And you're just like I don't care about like if a game's like, oh, save 6 times. Like I know Metal Gear Solid does that all the freaking time. I'm like, I will take a lower rank for just being able to like go back and replay essentially like almost the entire game with a specific spot. So
Okay.
yeah, use that technique if it helps anyone. I'm a firm believer in who cares, just save.
Yeah.
And just keep like saving.
In a world of free saving, in a world of I'm using a PS2 and I have a limited 15 slot memory card, and every time I make a save file, it counts as one of those. And then, you know what I mean? Like, you would have to pick and choose, and you may only be able to get so much from instead. I'm like, I don't know if I want to delete my original file of Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah,
right?
I could see that.
So it is one of those things where, depending what you're playing, hopefully you're playing it on an upgraded, like buy the Switch version for $5. You can have thousands of saves, right? But something to keep in mind depending what version you're on. Chapter 4, though, of Chapter 4 is Castellan's last stand. So back in the castle, we fight through 2 towers, escape a giant statue before coming face to face with Lord Castellan himself, who becomes a giant plant, and we kill.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, kind of rinse repeating at this point in the game, but I think the next section gets...
Well, it's kind of like a nice repeat, right? So we have the intro, we meet the big chief, we fight him, like Tyson said, the first threat's eliminated. The next section, we're kind of in a castle. Castellan's kind of our little guy. 2 chapters, we beat him, again, kind of onto the last section, last threats, and let's go over there. So chapter 5. So from there, we go to chapter 1, military complex infiltration / science gone wrong. So with Ada, we make it to the shores of another island. From here, we must battle some guards, find a science center, take out some regenerators before saving Ashley.
Yeah. First shot of the regenerators, and you're like, these things sure are a real pain.
And very
until
scary.
You get the thermal scope, and then you're like, wow, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
I get what I'm supposed to do here.
Although I did find, back in the day, I remember, thermal scopes, you can see the little parasites, you shoot them all, the thing blows up, easy peasy, done. Playing it through it this time, man, the graphics, and maybe my old TV's dying, or maybe my PlayStation 2's dying. Something didn't look as clean and crisp, and there was, lines in the TV, and I didn't want to investigate whether it was my little PS2 or maybe it's the cord. I don't know. Something wasn't going so well. And trying to see the thermal, it was just such a blur. I was like, rocket launcher, boom. But in the past, other versions, especially if you have a bit better fidelity or something like on your Switch or the PS4 version, probably be cleaner, right? From there, though, you go to Chapter 2, Riding Shotgun. So now we escape down a trash chute, fight 2 Iron Maidens, which are just regenerators, but when you get close, they shoot out spikes, before finding a garbage truck or cart. You protect Ashley and yourself as she drives you along through a complex before she crashes on a wall and is captured again.
Yeah, lost track of how many times she's been captured.
At this point, I was like, really? She's gone again? Oh my gosh. She just keeps getting taken to the next area kind of thing. Again, it's this game being kind of nice, but she's useful. I like when she kind of jumps into the cart and she's like, I'm going to help out and not just be useless. Good job. Good job, you.
Yes.
Chapter 3 is Been a Long Time, Comrade / Meeting the Assassin. So after we make a radio call, we find our old pal Jack Krauser, who has kidnapped Ashley and is now working for Sadler / Umbrella. We battle him in a military area that sees us fighting against some robots and solving mazes. We can also battle a scorpion guy in a cage here. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Underneath, and you're going through this I don't know, for some reason they have these shipping crates suspended with chains. And inside them, there's buttons that release the chains.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. But you gotta freeze the scorpion guy and then blast him. Man, this guy, I feel like I'm playing Aliens right now. Mm-hmm. So very cool.
Very much so.
I like this part. So just make sure that you kind of stay on top of where he's at, because I swear, as soon as I hit that red button, he is on top of me. And I'm like, okay, get to a spot where I can bust out my rifle and shoot him once. Okay, better start moving.
Yeah.
So better be quick at this point.
Yeah, I think in terms of that, like there wasn't a lot of bosses that we missed elsewhere in the game, right? Like we've kind of touched on most of them. I mean,
basically, I think like there was the troll.
Sure.
After the train cart, there's the double troll action.
And the trolls, you just deal damage at a certain point. They get kind of hurt. They bend over. A parasite comes out of their back. You keep shooting them.
Yeah, or you can run up and start knifing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, cool. Chapter 4, Aerial Assault. So the radio call we made earlier was for Helicopter Guy. He shows up and he just basically plows through a bunch of the remaining army until he is shot down. And then there's like one little section you have to kind of get through with some guys that throw dynamite at you. And that's it. And then you kind of get to the final chapter, which is Sadler's last stand / escape from Plagas Island. So finally, we remove the parasites from our body and Ashley's with a machine before confronting Salazar. We defeat him with the help of Ada, throws us a rocket launcher, and then Ada betrays us. She takes maybe the sample for Wesker and then escapes, and we're left to escape via jet ski with Ashley.
Yep. Cool little escape section where you're pinning it through all this like crumbling stuff. Good little climax. The boss battle against Sadler is excellent. A little frustrating, but if you know what you're trying to do, you're not like, he's not a bullet sponge. He's more of, you just need to be you just need to just pick the right spots, shoot the eyes, and then eventually Ada throws you a giant rocket launcher and it's like, use this, and you're like, thank you. Blow the crap out of it, and yeah, good times.
Yeah, no, very, very, very solid. So with that though, it's the end of the game. It's ending. So Leon defeats Sadler, kills the parasite with Ada's help, and escapes the exploding island with Ashley on a jet ski. Then Ashley hits on him. Maybe you could put in some overtime back at my place. Leon turns her down with the smoothest brush off ever. What a king. All right. So
yeah, very much like I get you assigned to my personal detail. You have proven that you don't need need me. So just see you later.
The series might need me in other capacities for other series when they need to breathe some life into the series in case we had a dead spot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Very much so.
I might be needed to boost the sales of Resident Evil 6 in a couple years. So, okay,
it's like, we're going to do something really dumb with 5, and they're going to need me to refix this.
It's coming. We know Chris is there, and Chris has only does dumb stuff. Okay, great.
Well, anytime you have your main character just being like, and I punch rocks. It's like, but why?
Yeah. Current thoughts. Oh god, this game is awesome. It's still badass. Tons of fun. I don't know. What do you guys want us to say? It's really, really, really good. It was a seminal gaming experience, right? It was as big a deal from, like, let's say, we talk about like Mario 64 is kind of this landmark achievement, 2D platforming to 3D platforming. Oh, they nailed it off the bat. The Zelda, the 2D adventure to the 3D adventure in the giant world, the fulfillment, the story. I think Resident Evil 4 is up there in terms of like what Final Fantasy 7 did in terms of game presentation and gameplay and story. This does that for like gameplay. It's the system that we still use today, right? Every major, well, most of them. A lot of first-person shooter games, or third-person shooter games, whatever you want to call it, just play like RE4. It perfected it. It was awesome right off the bat. It's great. It's still great.
Oh, it's a great time.
Well,
it really is.
The remake, like, they just basically gave us better graphics and kind of the same game and said, "Here you go."
It's remakes done right, right? Like, this is what we want. We just want the same game. Maybe give us some creature comforts. That's all we want. And it's like, sure, there you go. And they're like, oh, thank you. It's so nice. It's super, like, you can pick it up, you can play it. It's got the same vibes as the other ones. It's just, like, it's really well done. It's hard to find complaints about this game. because it is so tight, so much fun. It's this game, but it was because it was so well done, it broke the rest of the series. Like 5, I think, is a disappointment. 6 is a disappointment. 7, they finally get themselves back to a place, but that's almost like a complete. Like the next generation is like a complete miss, and then you have to wait for the generation after that before it like actually steps up again.
Yeah, and gets back to kind of like just refining some type of. But even like people are like, oh, the Village is good, but I think the Village compared to 7 is not as. It's just, what if we made a gunning game? It's not scary, right? Like they just go away from what made it great so well, and 5. It's not so great. This is definitely probably top of the mountain for the series. So it's great. Current thoughts. That's kind of what you're expecting. What would we change? Nothing, right? Like literally, even the remaster, it's just better looking, right? There's a couple quality of life upgrades. That's it. Pretty good retro game. But however, I have seen that the stop and shoot mechanics, right? People don't like you have to kind of not move and kind of point and shoot. It bugs people. But the combat system kind of, it's not so dynamic. The enemies weren't so much a mobile threat. It's kind of for crowd control, right? They kind of gather, they kind of have a bit more strategy. So stopping and shooting, I think goes hand in hand with kind of the tension the game's trying to build, right? It kind of works with the game. It works with kind of how the presentation, how the game plays, how the game feels. So I think it's okay. I don't think you need to be able to move and shoot in this game, right? It's not that kind of action. Even when the guys run up to you, they run up to you, pause, and then they make an action. Like, attack and movements are almost the same for the enemies, so why isn't it the same for you, right? Like you literally can see them run up to you, stop, and then they go into an attack animation. So it's like they have to also ready their attack. So I think it's fair.
I agree. I don't think that this. I think this game is very well balanced.
Yeah.
Like it's not like unfair or you're constantly running around. Even the boss battles, it's like it will flash dodge.
Yeah.
Press that button and you are good to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think it's very, very fair. Like it's not punishing you to a point. It's not a runner, like it's not a run and gun shooter. It's like it's more methodical.
Yeah.
I like the slower, I like the way they do it. I think it works well with the pace. I don't see a problem with the way they approached it. And in my mind, this was it's still like survival horror, not a run and gun shooter.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's a perfect way. It's a perfect balance between those two, right? Versus the next game goes away from the survival horror element, right? So yeah,
100%.
Cool. And then about a final, are you buying it? And then we're done. Did we do RE4 justice? Did we give it all the love and the praise it deserves? I think so. We probably talked about most of the points. Talked about the game. We did it. We didn't talk about like the campaign mode or the mercenary mode or like the Ada's stuff, but I didn't.
Do you need to?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't play it. It exists. It's extra content. Go check it out. So, based on how the rest of the series unfolds and how the story is told regarding the parasites and Umbrella, most fan theories from this game are either confirmed or denied. So, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is what it is. I mean, I'm not one of those people that's like need to dive into this and make sure that you like understand all the subtle nuances. You're like, no, just play it, have some fun. I mean, this game isn't trying to have a big overarching story or like big like life-changing moment. It just does fun right, and I like, to me, that's all I ask for in my games.
Yeah.
Like, is it fun? Is it approachable? Yes, cool. This is what I want in a game. I don't want to slog or have to read like extended text. Like I think that's one of my problems with like some of the later Final Fantasy games where it's just like random thing you need to start digging into before you can even comprehend what the characters are talking about.
Sure.
This just has a nice clean story. It unfolds. It has a nice It doesn't like dilly-dally. It just keeps the pace and keeps pushing forward and forward and forward. And just like, it's fun.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with this game. It just is a fun time. Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it's approachable. Good times. Probably one of the best games you can play if you just want to kill some time and enjoy spooky, scary month.
Yeah. Sweet. Nice. Well, we have a game to play that will put Tyson. Let's see if Tyson can put his money where his mouth is when it comes to that. Before that, though, we're into cultural significance. That's kind of the game. I think Tyson said his last little bit. I kind of said those bits. Well, we were doing the rest of the show, so hopefully there's nothing else I want to say. No, it's good. It's hard. You know what? Honestly, I think RE4, looking into it, diving into it, it should be up there. When we go to rank it, I'm very curious to see where this makes it on our tier list at the end of the year, because there is conversation. It's in that like must play, but like where, and just thinking of how much it did for the video gaming industry, where it came from, right? Doing all the backlog and all the research and like playing all the other games and getting the experiences and kind of seeing how everything organically kind of came up together to get to this point. Man, that's a massive jump. So, like, I'm curious to see where it gets on required play. Anyways, yeah. Well, with that, we'll just end with some cultural significance. I got 3 of them. Wow. 2 of them are sentences. 1 of them's a game. So we'll get through the 2 sentences and go from there. So the first part we want to talk about, guys, is a big game. So we got to do something big for it. So in this section, we look at game design, the lore, inspiration, turning points, interesting stories, talk about how this game relates, give other examples, and tie it all back together in the end. Conversely, so how RE4 reinvented the third-person shooter? Before RE4, third-person shooters were clunky, slow, and awkward. After RE4, every studio wanted to get to copy the over-the-shoulder camera. It inspired Gears of War, Dead Space, Uncharted, and even The Last of Us. It proved that horror could be cinematic and action-packed without losing its soul. The precise aiming, smart enemy AI, and level pacing, see, we're talking about pacing, set new standards for design. Even the inventory system became iconic. Games like Diablo 4 and Escape from Tarkov owe it a debt. So while RE4 might just have started as a survival horror sequel, it ended up reinventing how we played third-person games forever. It's not just a milestone, it's a blueprint.
Yeah. Well, I just look at games like, or even include Fortnite in that.
Yep.
Like, that's a third-person over-the-shoulder shooter, and that's one of the biggest games in the world.
Does it not play just like this game?
And basically this game plus, you can move and shoot.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, this, it's one of those things where if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, and if it doesn't exist, make it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
All right. On to our second topic. So when games went from scary to shooty, but still scary? So let's be honest, RE4 is where the franchise traded brain-dead zombies for smarter, meaner villagers and said, you know what? Let's give Leon roundhouse kicks. This game is a turning point. Look at that. Remember when I said it? We talk about turning points? We're doing it, guys. We're actually doing it. Where survival horror discovered caffeine. It's faster, louder, and way more explosive, but yet somehow terrifying. It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre met Die Hard and moved to Spain. Okay. It also
good way of putting it.
Is this when I do it? This is when I tell. So I didn't have a lot of time. I didn't get to these notes. I was like, what if ChatGPT could help make podcast notes? Most of the notes in the show written by ChatGPT. Could you tell?
No, not really.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, perfect. And like, I looked at everything and I was like, that's probably all the details I need. It gave me a couple like, which of these topics do you want? I was like, let's include both and see how it works. So cool stuff. Neat.
Very cool.
And I'm also hacked because now I don't even make notes. Making notes if I
welcome to the age of 2025 in AI. Who really does work for themselves?
Anyone that's listening at this point, they're like, a gas. Like most of my work is done by AI, so good for you. Way to just catch up. I was like, and it is much cleaner to just be like, okay, let's just get all this done, and I can spend more time on other stuff. So neat, cool. Anyways, it also marked the moment Nintendo players went, wait, we can have this on the GameCube? It was bloody, intense, and mature, and it felt rebellious for the platform. So yeah, RE4 just didn't reinvent the series, it reinvented the way they thought horror games could be. Scary, funny, cinematic, and just a little bit ridiculous. And we've been chasing that balance ever since. Again, like Tyson mentioned, it's good balance throughout the experience. So, wow, neat.
Yeah, and on another little note, like, this was at peak of, well, Nintendo's really more for kids.
Yes.
If you really want to play adult games, you got to play a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Man, have you ever played Jade Cocoon 2?
Man, it's so awesome. You're playing Pokemon. I'm out here collecting the real monsters. Yeah, like there was a huge. There's a period of time where Nintendo's for kids.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And these are the adult gaming systems. Where it's like, I don't know. I think that there's some pretty scary games on the Nintendo like consoles. You ever try to play Jet Force Gemini? The controls alone are terrifying.
Well, but I mean, I think that even just goes to show one of the things I guess I wanted to mention that we haven't. I guess we're doing it at the end of the podcast is just Resident Evil anyways has been in my life for a very long time. Early on, whenever it was released, 95, 96, Resident Evil PS1. 96. So 96, so I am 9. We had a guy in our class, like the cool kid in class, had a friend that had a PlayStation, had Resident Evil, had played it, and described it to us. And told us, bar none, PlayStation is mature, it's for adults, it's what cool kids play, Nintendo's for baby, it's like Link and Zelda and Kirby. And I remember him telling me about Resident Evil. It's a scary mansion, there's hunters, there's zombies, they walk around on the roof, you have to shoot them, Wesker's really cool, he has slick back hair and sunglasses, and it's been with me for quite a while, right? And like Tyson was saying, that literally his point of Nintendo's for babies, it's crazy that stuck with it, right? From when I was a little kid on the playground all the way through the lexicons of just gaming in general, Nintendo's for babies, until literally we could play this awesome action art scary game on our GameCube right now, right? And even looking at graphics and like old footage of this game and seeing like the big yellow or the big green A button for action, hey, jump over the window, do this, kind of always makes me chuckle, right? Because I do think Nintendo has this nice soft clean place where we can play Mario Karts and have parties, and it's not meant for the scary stuff, but it is synonymous with this like reinvention of this awesome action adventure game, right? Which did help change the narrative to like, oh, Nintendo can be for everyone, can be for kids. It was kind of cool to have a Nintendo all of a sudden because you're like, oh, I got RE4. So one last thing, only thing I think I didn't mention in this podcast I did want to touch on at some point. So
yeah, no, it's fair. I think Nintendo has always been kind of tied to Resident Evil because a lot of the exclusives were released on the GameCube.
Yeah.
So that was whoever made that decision did a great job
for sure. And I mean, how long was like just RE remake, right? Like the original that was touted as like no one else is getting this, right? It wasn't until PS4 maybe when they finally got the port and you could play it on like a different system or something. Other than that, it was a GameCube exclusive, right? So to get the true definitive original entry into the series, it was on the GameCube for a while, right? So yeah, RE4 kind of moved around, which makes sense from Capcom, but they stayed the other one, or they kept the other one at least kind of in the its original form, which is kind of neat. So with that though, all Tyson has to do, guys, we're getting close to Halloween. We have Halloween coming up next week. We might even have a special for you. So much Podtendo in the next few weeks. But before that, we have to play one game, or else it wouldn't be a Podtendo Halloween show. So we're going to look at the best Halloween Resident Evil game to play on Halloween.
Okay.
All right.
Let's play it.
So I've got 6 categories, 4 games, 1 winner, but I have a couple extra categories that I thought about after I sent you the notes. So if there's a tie, we have potentially 2 tiebreakers. So at least 6 categories, but depending where we're at, maybe I'll throw in my other categories. So we're going to start looking at each game, and Tyson gets to decide which one has the best blank. So starting off with the best blank, we'll start with best setting. So what is the best setting? Now again, specifically this is the best Halloween Resident Evil game to play on Halloween. So it's Halloween, you want to play a video game, you're like, I'll pick one of the first 4 Resident Evil games. I want a setting. Is it the mansion/lab from RE1? How about the Raccoon City/the police station from RE2? RE3, you get Raccoon City, and then RE4, you get a village, a castle, and a military island.
Man, this is actually hard to choose, right? Because it's like the mansion's iconic. Raccoon City and the police station are like extremely creepy.
And in my mind, they're just as iconic. Like they kind of like sit in the pantheon of like, ooh, creepy, right? Because I never,
Yeah.
it kind of seemed it was like RE2 is the scary game, and I'm like, a city, ooh, it's dark. Village, castle.
Well, I like, and then you get the like RE3 Raccoon City back there again,
Yeah.
and then the village, castle, military island. Like, yeah, a little creepy. Like the village, kind of like very, very eerie. But I'm thinking I'm leaning like RE2.
Okay.
Because like the city is extremely unnerving.
Yeah.
And then you get to the police station, which should be a very safe place. Like a mansion could be unsafe,
Yeah.
or a lab could be unsafe. The city, yeah, could be unsafe. And same thing with the village and the castle or whatever. It's like that could all like theoretically be like an unsafe place if you're not familiar with it. But if like you're needing help and you go into a police station and there's just nobody there, that is, to me, it's like very unnerving, because it's like a place that should be bustling with people there to help you, and it's just filled with danger.
And
it's like,
if you want to get a bit more into like even the broader strokes and say, well, RE1, like you have to look at the original, but then you kind of have to look at like the remake, right? Okay. Then technically you'd have to look at the original RE2 and the remake of 2. And I think the police station with Mr. X walking around and you can hear his footsteps and he chases you, absolutely is one of the better settings in any of the series, right? RE3, yeah, you get the city, you get the more action-paced city of like the RE3 remake, and then RE4 is pretty close. Okay, all right, good job, RE2 coming out on top there. Now we're going to get to best, let's go best atmosphere. Let's jump a category, come back to that one. So the best atmosphere. So in the first one, we get dark mansion, has fixed camera angles. Number 2, it's like an urban setting / kind of like underbelly of the city. Number 3, we get the urban kind of post-apocalyptic streets. And then in 4, we get like a rural country castle / military facility. So which of these games has the best settings? And Halloween settings too, right? Like,
yeah. I think I lean 4. Like, you know, the city's always very creepy or whatever, but like, man, nothing. There's lights. There's always lights. There's always things there. Out in the country, you're like, I'm just surrounded by darkness, and I could easily get lost and never find my way back. And castles are inherently terrifying.
I agree. I think for like a setting of the village, the countryside, the dried grass, the stalks of kind of grass seems more Halloween-y than like the streets. Yeah, because the streets seem kind of like where like Jason goes to take on something. Whereas, the grass that's where he's getting most of the guys out in the camp. Okay, all right. Let's go to... I want to save the second category just for a second. So let's go best survival horror hack. Okay, all right, that's fine. Let's make it a little bit lighter here. So, okay, so survival horror... we've got a couple hacks in these games. So the original, so the GameCube version of the remake, you can get an infinite grenades by just simply... I think when you put your grenade launcher in, how does it work? There's somehow one of the save rooms you get the grenade launcher and you can kind of like do away with your inventory management, where you just basically put it in and out of your inventory, and every time you drop your fully loaded grenade launcher into your the box, it like gives you ammo back, and then you just but like more ammo than you put in, so it kind of just like infinitely respawns. Okay, cool. That's a fun hack. In RE2, you go to the options screen, you hold R1 and you press the square button 16 times and you get infinite ammo. Okay. In RE3, I don't know if there's any hacks. And then RE4, after you play through the game a few times, you can get a fully powered weapons, you get Ashley in a suit of armor. So of all those, which is the best survival horror hack in these games?
Oh, RE2 infinite ammo.
Yeah, okay.
Like that one, I still remember to this day, because I don't know what copy we had, but I feel like we had a version where you could just be like, do you want to play this the baby style? And you're like, yeah, I do.
It was like the director's cut or something. Yeah, it had like the deluxe edition, and yeah, easy mode was just infinite machine gun.
Yeah, or an infinite like grenade launcher. And you're like, I'm okay with this. And it just like starts the game. It's like, here, have fun. And as like a kid, that was so like, okay, I don't need to worry about trying to manage things. I could just straight up blow them
Sit
up.
in the corner of the room,
That's okay.
unload the minigun. Brrr. Oh, everything's good. Okay, perfect, great. Yeah, awesome. Okay, good job,
Yeah,
RE2. Let's go best enemies. So, do you like, in RE1, you get zombies, sharks, plants, hunters, dogs. In RE2, we get zombies, lickers, Mr. X, a crocodile. RE3, we have zombies, hunters, dogs, nemesis. And then in RE4, we have villagers, dogs, giants, chainsaws, and fish.
You know, it to me, it's kind of a toss up between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I think I tip the hat to RE2 again.
Okay.
There's it's kind of running away with this thing. It's almost like it's one of the better ones. Especially in the remake, like Mr. X is just super creepy.
Yes.
The liquors being introduced, because like I think of RE, I think of like hunters, liquors, zombies, and like giant spiders, crocodiles, all the things that are RE2. So in my mind, like and dogs, like those are all the things that like stick out in my brain, and they're all in RE2.
Okay, and that's true.
So-
And like as I was going through the list, and I got to like liquors, Mr. X, crocodiles, I was like, ooh, those are almost like the three most iconic things right there. So good luck.
Yeah.
The only other one in terms of like best enemies that really bug me and I really hate is those goddamn sharks in those hallways.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
when you first
yeah.
get to the facility and it's like you got to go in the water and you got to go turn the gas on or something to kill the plant, whatever it is. Maybe you turn a sprinkler on and you have to run through those two hallways before you drain the water. I'm always like, ugh, I hate it. Ugh, just so badly, so badly. So those ones are the only ones that kind of stay out there. I'm like, ugh, just in terms of like pure fear. I don't know. Sharks shouldn't be in a zombie game. What are we doing? Let's go to best scares. Yeah, okay. Or no, did we do atmosphere?
No.
yeah,
Atmosphere
'cause-
was 4 for being in the country.
Okay, yep.
We just skipped the best protagonist.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 marks. Yeah, so let's go best scares. So you scares. So in RE, the remake, we had the Redeads, right? Or the Crimson Heads. One of those guys jump up and chase you. You're like, in RE2, we've got either Mr. X from the remake or the liquor glass. So when you go to grab like the Knight's key in one of the interrogation rooms, the liquor jumps through, and I swear that was the scariest thing in any video game for years and years and years, probably until the Dead Spaces of the world started showing up, and I was like, oh, I could see this actually being scarier. But that was always one of those like, oh man, that got me. Nemesis chasing you in RE3, right? He's pretty fast, he's big. You're like, that's great. And then RE4 is Chainsaw Man, watching yourself get a chainsaw through the head or chainsawed, and you're like, oh god.
Me, I know it's coming, and I still just like, okay, let's do this. And it's Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Like that first time, like he just comes in, you're just like, oh no, because he's like I feel a close would be Nemesis, but Nemesis is a little bit slow and plodding.
Yeah.
This sucker is just at your throat with a chainsaw constantly. Like I mean, the jump scares with like the Redeads and liquor with the glass, all very good, but Chainsaw Man is still like, I know he's coming, I know where he's at, and I'm terrified, and I need to just run away from him until he goes away.
Okay. I agree. Dr. Salvador, you are fucking terrifying. All right, so that only leaves one more category. Now, in event of a tie, like I said, we have 2 more extras. It looks like it's a 2-dog race. Our remake, RE3, not doing very well. 2 and 4, we're close. Let's see. So, best protagonist. All right, so in the first game, obviously, we have Jill and Chris. He plays for both. In RE2, you can also play as both Leon and Claire. In RE3, you only get Jill, and in RE4, you only get Leon. So, who is the best protagonist?
Again, I think I lean more towards 2.
Yeah.
Like, Chris just doesn't do it for me. Like, I love Jill. Jill's like, you're one of my favorites. But RE2, you get like Leon and Claire, and like, you two are both some of my favorites. And then like RE3 is just Jill, and you're like, okay, kind of missing that. Like if Jill's like a 2 and Leon's like a 1.5 and Claire's a 1.5, just math alone, like RE2's at a 3. Like RE1's still kind of at a 2 because I don't really like care for Chris. And then RE3's at a 2 and Leon's at a 1.5. So for me, it's just like math wise, I gotta go RE like 2, just because like yes, Jill's my favorite, but Leon and Claire are both like that second tier town, and I get both of them. So
Sure.
I'm in on RE2.
Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, because Claire is delightful. She's lovable. And you get Leon. So now, could you argue that like the Leon we get in 4 is greater than the sum of both Leon and Claire in 2? Because they're both kind of figuring out first day on the job, right? Just looking for your brother versus roundhouse kicking Leon, maybe? But
Maybe.
do not fear, everyone. We're not just going to let RE2 walk away from a 2 to or a 4-2 victory. No. We're going to give RE4 a chance here, guys, because I got 2 more bonus categories if things were close and to make it interesting. So our 2 last final categories to make the best Halloween Resident Evil game to play on Halloween. Which game has the best in-game mystery? As to what's going on. So could it be the original? You show up at a mansion, there's dogs outside. What's going on? There's zombies everywhere. What happened? Could it be RE2? Starting off, this mystery virus gets released through the city. It's our jobs to figure out who did it and how do we escape. Could it be the mystery in 3, where it's we run away? Oh no. Could it be the mystery in 4? Why are we in Spain? Where's Sadler? What's going on? Who's Krauser? Why is Wesker here? How come they talk about Umbrella sometimes? So which game has the best in-game mystery? So as you're playing it, you're like, oh man, I want to find some more dossiers. I want to find some more documents. I need to watch a lore video. I need to watch some fan theories. Which of these games gets that kind of going a little bit?
I'm gonna give it to 4.
Okay.
And the reason is like I like 2's mystery, and 1's mystery is very much like, oh, there's zombies.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on? Like that one's classic. 3's kind of like, oh no, run away. 2's very much like, okay, well, where is everybody?
Yeah.
What time is going on? But you kind of already know what's happening.
What could happen? Oh, it's from the mansion. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then this one, it's very much like, okay, these aren't zombies. Like I know zombies, and these ain't zombies. And like that little like twist. And just like, okay, well, obviously it's the village chief. He's up to no good. Like, and then it's, okay, well, no, it's this little freaky dude, Lord Salazar, or whatever heck it is. And then it's like, okay, well, no, why is Krauser here?
Sure.
And then it's like, okay, well, who's Krauser working for? And now he's working for Sadler.
And just break it
and you're
down.
like,
The first time you played this, you pop it in, you throw it on. You're like, all right, let's find out what happened. How was Umbrella? What were they doing this time? Umbrella is dead. And you're like, what? No, they're the bad guys. They can't be dead, right? So like, what is happening now? Sure. And then parlay that into which game creates the greatest or does the most for the overall lore of the series. So of all the games, which one adds kind of the most lore, gives it the biggest turning point, starts it out? So could it be the introduction to just the T-Virus, the introduction to Wesker, the Umbrella Company? Could it be the lore of blowing up Raccoon City? RE3, sorry, you don't really get much lore of anything. You're just kind of there. Literally, no point to you whatsoever. And then, or in number 4, the introduction of the Los Plagas and what is going on with Umbrella. So which of those between, you throw RE1 in there, right? Kind of, which game has kind of the biggest impact, the most important impact on the lore of the series?
I mean, it's kind of a toss-up between 1 and 4, because 1 kind of kicks everything off, right? Like, it's very much like, okay, here's zombies, Umbrella Corp releases a virus.
There's the traitor, right? Who's the traitor? What's going on? What is a Jill sandwich? How do I get one?
But it's kind of straightforward. And I guess I could see how some people wouldn't like 4. Because it very much takes a left turn from what you would expect. You're like, okay, they're zombies. Wait, now they're not zombies? Now they're like kind of like sentient? Now they're bugs or like parasites? Like, what is this? I could see how a lot of people don't like that. I like it as like an escalation. So to me, I would lean for the whole idea of just like, okay, well, it's more than just zombies. It's more of a like, these things are sentient and they kind of like communicate. It's almost like this hive mind, and they're all being controlled. And it's like it takes that standard. Well, zombies want to eat flesh and brains. Now go, and it takes it more like, well, no, these things can be manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
They can be injected into people, and like the whole idea of like, okay, well, technically Leon and Ashley are infected for a very long time, but because our buddy Louise actually helped to develop this, but he's also helping trying to fix it. Because of him, we have an answer, and we're going to end up being saved. And it's like he's kind of the huge hero of the story, but I like that escalation. I like the introduction of like the like the giant things that pop out of thing, the giant mutations. It's like it's a decent escalation enough, and I think it gets your brain working harder as opposed to, okay, zombies bad, shoot them, figure out who did this. Like that's a very straightforward one. Whereas I find
and maybe like I think the argument, you're basically just waffling between kind of like, is it better in RE4 where they kind of add this new element and like where does it go in the series, or just kind of the conclusion that we already know about? Like in RE1, oh, there is zombies, but like where does the progenitor virus come from? And it's kind of touched upon in the next two games, and it's kind of a self-contained, clean story, whereas this one blows up, right? It goes everywhere. And I mean, it doesn't really get any, I don't think it gets a satisfying conclusion until say 7 or 8, right? Until you kind of like dive into like the lore of those, and like, oh, I see, Ashford met with these people from this village, and like they had this whole ooze is the project, like it's all kind of hand in hand. And I'm like, oh, it kind of gets there eventually, right? There's kind of a story. Did I spend more time reading online rumors about after RE4 than I did say like after RE1 or RE2? I don't know. Like, what's more disappointing? That's what these games lead into. Code Veronica as well as RE6. Which of those games is more disappointing? Which is more disappointing?
RE5, not 6.
Oh no, but
RE5 is more disappointing.
No, but RE6 is really disappointing. At least 5, you're like,
those two are.
You fight Wesker, whatever. It's like
it's kind of co-op. You have a buddy.
It's Chris's.
It's not.
It's
the end of the world.
And Chris gets to kill Wesker, and you're like, oh, the conclusion to that rivalry, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Whereas
6,
Code Veronica is
he's there, but then there's someone else, and yeah. Anyways, I kind of just
and we're in Antarctica.
Yeah, I kind of derailed us there a little bit. For that though, what did you have a winner? Did you have a pick? Were you gonna give it to RE4?
I think I lean RE4 just for better gameplay, but you could easily give it to RE2 remake. Like
no,
both of these two are.
No, sorry, you're arguing lore for the series.
Oh yeah, lore for the series. I'm giving it to 4.
Okay, yeah, okay, awesome. So that means a 4-4 tie. RE2 and RE4, you both win. You're both the best Halloween Resident Evil games to play on Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably do the opening of RE4, right? And then maybe beat RE2, but like the original RE2, I think.
Oh, interesting. See, I really like the remake.
Oh yeah.
I'm down with either.
But it's Halloween night. Like you could play through one. Like you kind of have to play it just on Halloween night. That's probably how I'm setting up my evenings. I'm gonna start with RE4, get through the village opening, great, and then start with RE2 and try and beat it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Because you should be able to complete a couple hours, like 3 hours. You should be able to beat a section of RE2. So that's, I guess, game length could have been a category. Yeah. Whereas I'm like, RE4 is 16 hours, so good luck.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, sweet. So with that, though, that means obviously this RE2 and RE4 are equally as great. Wow, just the stupid middle answer that everyone was looking for before we started that game. So with that, though, that wraps up our podcast for the year. Not for the year. For the show, for the week. We're back next week with kind of like a Halloween special. Did we miss anything?
Nah. It's I mean, we dove into it, had some fun. hopefully we sparked some interest in whoever's listening. Have some fun with it. Go play some RE. They're a great franchise. Come on, it's good times. Go have some fun.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't do, and one of the things I've kind of started doing is, oh yeah, sweet. I have a random assortment, a bunch of like Nintendo powers, and diving into like some older Nintendo power, especially for some of the games that we played in a little bit, and getting into like that physical media experience. I kind of wish I would have bought like a Nintendo Power or something for like Resident Evil 4 just to see all the promotional material, how it was presented, how it was talked about, right? I think that'd be kind of neat, but that's just kind of like for myself, easily something I could look up with a PDF, so I don't have to spend a bunch of money, just something a little bit to browse. But on that, yeah, no, great experience, awesome. Glad we gave it a bunch of runway, let it fly. Big, very, very important video game that we talked about here today. So, man, it was fun to go back and play. I had so much fun. I was done a week or two ago. I was almost like, well, if Tyson doesn't want to record this weekend and needs more time, I'm definitely just going to keep playing RE4 this week and lead up to Halloween. So I'll obviously find something else for the next week or so. But no, awesome. Very, very fun experience. Good. And yeah.
Yep.
Say bye. Get out of here. We'll see you guys next week for a Halloween themed show. Ooh, fun.
Absolutely. Enjoy some spooky, scary month, everybody.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Till then, bye.
See you.